Most people think the difference between North and South India is education, but that's not even close. Some of the highest college enrollment rates in India are in the North, places like Delhi and Chandigarh. And at the same time, the least literate state in the country is in the South, Andhra Pradesh, where the literacy rate is lower than Bihar. Yes, Kerala has the highest literacy rate, but literacy rate just means basic reading and writing in any language. In many cases, that's only up to primary school level. That's why even places like Punjab and Rajasthan have a higher English-speaking proficiency than Kerala. So we can safely assume that both regions are getting educated. And in some cases, the North is even ahead, but the outcomes still look completely different. Why does North India still feel chaotic and backward?
कृपया महिलाओं, दिव्यांगजनों और वरिष्ठ तू उठा के दिखा दे मेरे को तू उठा के दिखा मेरे को
While Tamil Nadu looks like it's on par with Singapore, why does most of India's economic activity, development, and infrastructure seem to be coming from the south, while the north is constantly trying to catch up? If it's not education, then what is it? The answer is a lot more uncomfortable. The south did something the north never figured out. They actually broke the caste system. The Dravidian movement in Tamil Nadu wasn't just about language. It was also about demolishing the old ways. Periyar literally told people to reject Brahmins, reject Sanskrit, reject the entire hierarchy. And it worked. By the 1960s, Tamil Nadu had dismantled most of the social gatekeeping that kept lower castes out of business and government. Karnataka did the same with Vokalikas and Lingayats rising to power. Even Andhra Pradesh, which people love to mock for being backward, had land reforms that redistributed Brahmin and upper caste land to OBCs and Dalits. The North? They kept the system. In Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, the same families that controlled land in 1947 still control it today. Sure, there's reservations, and there may be Dalit chief ministers every now and then. But reservations are a band-aid on a broken bone. The actual economic base, land, business networks, access to capital, never changed hands. And that's the difference. In the South, a Nadar or a Tevar could go from farming to owning a textile mill in one generation. In the North, a Yadav or a Jat might become a politician, but the Brahmin or Baniya still owns the factory. So when people say South India is more developed, they're talking about economic mobility. And economic mobility only happens when you dismantle gatekeepers. The South did it, the North didn't. But here's where the narrative flips. North India still remains the brain of India. The North may not have built the cleanest systems, but it built something far more intense. It built a talent pipeline. Look at where India's most competitive exam culture comes from. UP, Bihar, Rajasthan. This entire belt runs on pressure. Students growing up in small towns with limited resources, competing at a scale that's hard to even imagine. IIT, UPSC, you name it. And when you grow up in that environment, you adapt. You learn how to compete and survive. And that's what the North produces. Extremely resilient graduates. And then something interesting happens. They don't always stay. They move to Bangalore, Hyderabad, or Chennai. So a lot of what you're seeing in the South is actually built on top of this talent pipeline from the North. Engineers, analysts, managers, a significant chunk of them didn't start in the South. They came from North Indian towns most people don't even talk about. And that's why this comparison gets misleading. Because Bangalore's tech boom, that's Patna's export. So when people say the South is ahead, they're looking at where things come together, not where they began. But talent itself doesn't build economies. Systems do. And the North never built one. Look at Tamil Nadu. It's not dependent on one thing. Coimbatore makes textiles, Chennai makes cars, Hosur makes electronics. Entire industries that feed off each other. In fact, Tamil Nadu has the highest manufacturing output of any state in India. The same goes for Karnataka with tech. Telangana and Andhra Pradesh did it with pharma, and Kerala has a strong remittance culture. Each state figured out how to specialize and then double down on it. Now compare that to large parts of the north. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, they have scale and population, but the economic structure is kamzor and bikra hua. A lot of employment still comes from government jobs, agriculture, or informal work, or they simply send their youth to work in factories in Tamil Nadu. But there's one area where the north holds an advantage that the south simply cannot replicate: location. Everything in India is controlled by one city, Delhi, and Delhi sits in the north. That changes how attention flows. If something happens in Punjab or Haryana, it reaches the center immediately. The same thing happening in the south doesn't always get the same urgency. Distance matters. Proximity to decision making matters. And over time, that translates into influence. Because besides having more population, the north sits closer to where the decisions are being made. And this is where things start getting uncomfortable again. Because the south is about to get punished for doing everything right. Delimitation. In the 1970s, the government froze the number of seats per state. Why? Because they wanted to give states an incentive to control population growth. The central government promised that if you keep your population stable, you don't lose political power. The south listened. Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, they all brought down their fertility rates. The north didn't. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, they kept growing. And now the freeze is about to be lifted. After 2026, seats will be reallocated based on the current population, which means Uttar Pradesh will gain seats and Tamil Nadu will lose seats. So the states that control population are losing representation. The states that didn't are gaining it. You followed the policy, you did exactly what the government asked you to do, and your reward is less power. This is why the South is furious. Forget about what's fair or unfair. It's a direct punishment for competence. And it gets worse, because more seats for the North means more MPs who will push more subsidies, more welfare schemes, more spending in their respective states. Paid for by whose taxes? The South's. So the South funds the center redistributes to the North, and now the North gets more political power to demand more redistribution. And this isn't the first time policy caused imbalance. There's an older example that most people don't even talk about: the freight equalization policy. For decades after independence, India made raw materials like coal and iron ore available at the same prices across the country. What that meant in practice was simple. A factory didn't need to be close to the resources anymore. Normally, industries are set up where raw materials are easily available. That advantage disappeared. So companies started making decisions based on something else: access to ports and ease of exporting. And that shifted a lot of industrial activity towards the south. Factories could bring in raw materials from the north at a subsidized cost and still operate closer to ports in states like Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. So the resource-rich regions stayed focused on supplying raw materials and labor, while the actual manufacturing and value creation moved to the south. Nowadays, people say it openly. South India is more developed. North India is backward. It's normalized already. But the moment you say that, it sounds like you're saying one side is better than the other, that one side has more civilized people and more disciplined people. But what if none of this is actually about people? What if this entire divide is just a symptom of something much deeper? I've made another video about that. You can check that out next.